So we had a mass shooting in Maine this past weekend. Sad, 18 people were killed and 13 were injured. But the good news is the guy that did it was found dead. So, it was a kind of a cheap out for him, I suppose, but at least he's gone. He's not going to menace anybody else. Let me get into this article here from CNN. It's CNN, so you know what I think of CNN, but let's see what they have to say. So, anxious Maine communities feel relief after man accused of killing 18 people is found dead. So a sense of relief washed over a grieving Maine community that endured 2 days of fear after authorities announced the man accused of killing 18 people at a bowling alley and a restaurant earlier this week was found dead on Friday evening. The body of Robert Card, 40, was discovered near a river some 10 miles from the shattered community of Lewiston with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, authorities said. Card's body was found inside a box trailer sitting in an overflow parking lot of Maine Recycling Corporation in Lisbon, Maine Public Safety Commissioner Michael Sawchuk said at a news conference Saturday morning. Card had recently been fired from the recycling center, law enforcement told CNN. Some of those trailers are locked, some of those trailers aren't. He was found inside one of those boxes, and it was unlocked from the outside. So, because two firearms were found alongside Card's body, and he was wearing the same sweatshirt seen in surveillance video on the Wednesday night shooting, suggesting he never changed his clothes. It's unclear when he took his own life. Obviously, sometime soon after, I would think. They couldn't find him for a while, so I'm guessing he was probably dead. So, like many people, I'm breathing a sigh of relief tonight, knowing that Robert Card is no longer a threat to anyone. Mills said at a news conference Friday evening. I know there are some people, many people, who share that sentiment, but I also know that his death might not bring solace to many. Um, so the extensive manhunt started Wednesday night after gunshots rang out at a just-in-time recreation and later at Schmenge's Bar and Grill in Lewiston, according to the officials. The 18 people killed, whom officials identified Friday, ranged in age from 14 to 76. 14 is so young. That's sad. Not that anybody should die, but you know what I'm saying here. They included a boy who was bowling with his father, contestants in a cornhole tournament for the deaf, and several fathers who leave behind young children. The shooting rampage left 13 others injured, officials said. 5 of the injured victims were still hospitalized as of Saturday, 3 of whom remain in critical condition. So, a couple more that could sadly pass away. Hopefully not, but um, so law enforcement officials say Card, a U.S. Army reservist and certified firearms instructor, had extensive training that included land navigation and firearms. He was described as a skilled marksman and one of the best shooters in his unit by someone who served with him. So of course it's going to be the good shoot. It's not going to be the guy, it's not going to be, you know, bad aim McMarty who picks up the gun and decides to shoot people. It's going to be the guy who's got rocket aim with a gun. Sad, but not to make jokes, but okay. So here we go. Let's see what else they have to say here. Let's see what Biden has to say about this. So, Biden, in a statement Friday night after the suspect was found dead, said his administration will continue to provide everything that is needed to support the people of Maine. He also reiterated his call to Congress to address gun violence. See, he's good about this one. He's not so good with, places that are burned to the ground by wildfires. You know, needs a little bit of work there on that end. But here with the gun violence, he's right in there. Americans should not have to live like this, Biden said. I once again call on Republicans in Congress to fulfill their obligation to keep the American people safe. I love it. Shut up. You got to jump in. Oh, I call on Republicans. You got to get all political about this. You can't just be less of a goof and just, like, God, what an old, decrepit automaton. He's just such a goof politician. Why don't you just leave that partisan shit out of it and just say, look, man, we're going to do whatever we can for these people. And we're going to try our best to do something about these mass shootings as best we can without infringing rights on the rights of good, hardworking American citizens. Like, that'd be a nice thing to say. I don't know, but you got to try and everything's got to be every tragedy's got to be some kind of political talking point or something to push an agenda. So disgusting. Right, let's see here. What else we got? This is a pretty long article here. Okay, So it says details about when Card died were unclear. So just over 48 hours after the manhunt began, authorities found Card's body at 7:45 p.m. Friday near the Androscoggin River in the Lisbon Falls area, some 10 miles from Lewiston. Uh, Earlier this week, authorities had found Card's vehicle abandoned after the shooting near a boat launch in the Lisbon area. Details about when Card died remains to be seen, and authorities haven't announced a motive for the shooting. Well, okay, the motive. I mean, let's be real. What's the motive? Guy's unhinged. Something happened, became unhinged, and went off. So they're going to speculate here on this next thing here. While no motive has been announced, a key theory about why the bowling alley and the restaurant were targeted emerged during the investigation. Law enforcement sources told CNN Thursday Card recently broke up with a longtime girlfriend, and investigators are pursuing the theory Card went to the bowling alley and the bar because they were places the couple used to frequent. Law enforcement sources told CNN's John Miller. Card also left behind a note to his family, according to Sawchuk. It's a note to a loved one, and it's saying that this is the passcode for my phone, this is the bank account numbers. Uh, I wouldn't describe it as an explicit suicide note, but the tone and the tenor was that this individual was not going to be around and wanted to make sure that his loved one had access to his phone and whatever was in his phone. So, so he pre-planned this obviously, which shows a level of, he had his head sort of screwed on to some degree. Obviously, whatever led him to do this was some arrangement, but yeah, this guy this guy didn't really have a history of mental illness. This was kind of like an acute episode, if you will. Could have been brought on by this breakup. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know if there's gonna be more information coming out that he did a lot of time. He was a reservist, so I don't think he did a ton of combat time, in hard combat or anything like that. That would have potentially messed with his brain. But maybe, I don't know. Either way, pretty disgusting. Sad that that this is probably going to be used as some kind of political, you know, spearhead to try and push this anti-gun agenda again on when this should have been actually maybe better screening for a guy that had some acute psychological issues going on right now. So